Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Nerders. I'm Rich.
I'm Nick.
And today we're going to be talking about what we're up to. What have we been playing, what have we been watching, what have we been doing. So, Nick, what have you been up to?
Well, there's a big thing that I did this past week that we're going to talk about later in the week. People are going to have to get back for that.
Okay.
But another thing that I did was I started a video game that came out a few years ago and just got a sequel, and I'm finally on the first one. Well, not the first one, but Tomb Raider.
Yes.
I started playing Tomb Raider.
This is the definitive edition.
The definitive edition.
Of the 2013 reboot.
Yes. I was Lara Croft for a little bit there.
Yeah?
It was fun.
You like it?
Yeah, I mean, if you're a fan of the Uncharted games, there's a lot that I think that they kind of took from what made those good and are clearly applying to this. There's definitely you can feel some RPG elements. I'm only like 2 hours into it, but at the little campfires you can upgrade her skills and all that. But it's beautiful to look at. I own the game both on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Because I bought it on PlayStation a week before it was the Games with Gold on Xbox, and I had.
So you're playing it on?
Playing it on Xbox.
Oh, okay.
Just because I had just finished the game on PS4, and I love having physical copies, but there's something very nice about the digital edition, just being able to just click, go, not even get up, put it in or anything. So I was just like, yeah, what's the difference? There's really no difference, so I'll just play it on this. It's fun. It's good. You've played and beat this game.
Yeah, I haven't played the definitive edition yet. I bought it, haven't played it.
What is the difference?
I think it's just a better resolution. I think it has the better graphics. I think it has all the DLC.
Okay.
This is supposed to be more comparable to like the PC version of it.
Okay.
As far as looks, I think it's supposed to have DLC and stuff in it. But the year this came out, this was like number 2 for my games of the year.
Wow.
I absolutely adore this game. I'm still waiting on the PS4 version of Rise of the Tomb Raider so I can play that
This fall.
I'll be very curious to hear your thoughts once you've...
Yeah, I'm excited to keep going through it. I talked a few weeks ago, I was playing Lara Croft Go on mobile. That was a great game. And if I had one complaint 2 hours in, and we kind of talked about this, but there is a lot of cinematics.
Yes.
And some of it feels a little bit like, how do we get to this point in the story? Like, it didn't quite feel always like organic, or it felt like stuff was happening too quick, even though there was a lot of it. But I'm excited to see how it plays all the way through.
Cool.
But yeah, I'll report back when I beat it.
Great.
What about you?
Are you talking about the other thing, or were we waiting for that one too?
What's that?
The movie.
Oh. Yeah,
wait for
okay.
tomorrow?
Yeah, no, I'll talk. I watched the movie.
All right.
Yeah, you let me borrow a movie that I really wanted to see in theaters, and it just eluded me for some reason. And that's Straight Outta Compton, the story of NWA. F. Gary Gray's probably highest rated movie of all time. He's a director I've liked since Friday. I'm sure most people know what Straight Outta Compton is. You love this movie.
Yes.
As did a lot of my friends, and I see why. It's really good. It is a kind of a typical biopic. It follows the same structure it doesn't break any ground there, but it is a really good story, and the acting is great. And there are things like, I've heard probably the album Straight Outta Compton a few times in my life, and like Fuck the Police I've heard a million times. So I knew the music, and obviously everybody knows Dr. Dre, everybody knows Ice Cube. I didn't know much about I knew that Eazy-E had died. I knew that, I've known that, but I didn't know it was from AIDS. I feel like. Okay. So I thought his arc was really interesting and sad. And really the arc of all of them. And there's a point, it's real life, sorry if I'm spoiling the movie. There's a point where you don't really realize, how socially relevant they were at the time, but also how tragic it is that, things got in the way of them staying together and what they could have. Yeah. There's a part where I think Ice Cube says, we left a lot of great albums on the table and stuff like that, and they left so much on the table, but, Ice Cube obviously had a great career. Dr. Dre made billions off of beats. And his music career, so it worked out for them just fine. I mean, Beats alone sold for like $3 billion. So it was really good. I was surprised some of it. Like, I know that Suge Knight was also like somehow involved in the making of the movie. Like,
Okay.
and he is really portrayed just as like the villain of the movie, and I wonder what he thought of that. I'm sure it's all true. He's a terrible person. He killed somebody recently, but you just wonder how that went down. But overall, it was really good.
Cool. I'm glad you liked it
a lot. So, how about you? What have you
so,
been up to?
So like you, I have a movie and I have a game.
Okay.
What do you want to hear first?
Let's same order game.
Game. So I played Life is Strange.
Yes, you talked a little bit.
I talked a little bit last week. I played the first episode at the time. I was into it, and so in the past week, I sat down and I plowed through the last 4 episodes, and wow, I fucking love this game so much. I came into work and I talked to you about it. I was like, you need to play this game.
And I was like, all right, and I ordered it.
Yeah,
and I have it.
It's so just. The story is so good. Like the gameplay, it's fairly typical.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's a third person, story driven. You kind of walk around. There's little puzzles and stuff though, and like I mentioned on last week's episode, there's a time travel mechanic in it, which makes the game really interesting. So you have the power to reverse time. So like one example is, if you're walking through, you come out into like your out of your dorms. It's senior year at this artsy high school, like this private art school, and you come out and the football player throws it and hits some girl in the head. Okay. Well, if you want, you have the ability to reverse that event and go warn her to move. You're getting, and then that hits.
Now, does it like in a case like that? Does it be like you might want to rewind here, or you don't?
No, like it just the event happens, and if you see it, great. If you don't, you miss it. So like there was an event towards the end of the game that somebody falls into a pool, and I was busy doing something else, and I heard it happen, but I was like, oh, like whatever, that's just anything that's happening. And I came back out later, and the girl was sitting there like, leave me alone, like I'm all soaking wet, and I'm angry, and blah 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 blah. So if you like catch it, you can reverse time and take care of it. But there are other events bigger events where something happens, and she'll have this monologue, and it'll be like, oh wow, maybe I should have just stayed, I shouldn't have stepped in, or I shouldn't intervene, or I should have done this or something. But like I said last week, it doesn't give you the right answer, because even if you reverse it and you do something else, they'll still say, oh, maybe I should have intervened or should have done something to affect this. And there's so many little things in the game. Like you can go around and you can look at all these different posters and pictures and lockers, and if you're in somebody's room, you can like look at all the stuff that they've got, and oh, there's this crumpled up note. What's this say? What's that say? And it all can come back later on.
That's really cool.
Even like the little things, like if you have a small choice, oh, do I want to water my plant? Do I not want to water my plant? Well, the plant may or may not be, or do I want to sign this or sign that? And you'll see like a small sign of remnants of that choice, and a hint at that. But then there's much bigger things afoot. But the story in this game is so good. Like days later, I'm still like constantly thinking about this story and these characters, and did I make the right choice? Do I want to go back and replay it? Like I want to almost experience it again, but at the same time I don't.
Yeah. Because
I'm so attached to the way I played these characters, and the way I sort of played the story out, that I'm like, I don't know if I... it's different. Like I started playing Until Dawn. I'm not going to get into that. I'll get into that next time, next week when I played some more of it. But where it's like, okay, it's fun. They're very kind of stereotypical characters. If I play, I'll be interested to play through it and see how it plays out differently. Like I'm not attached to them in the same way that I'm attached to these characters, and how just deep like the story is. Right. So I'm really curious to hear what you think about it.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited to play it without spoiling anything, because I am going to play it. Hopefully people will check it out. So they're in a high school and all this stuff, and it has this, I guess, outlandish thing where you can reverse time. Yeah, it's like definitely like a very significant thing. But is the story simple, or is it like, is there like huge things that happen, or is it more like Life is Strange, but it's like a normal high school life, and it's just like high school drama?
Yes, and there is the high school drama and the high school like goings on, and like, oh, there's the drama between these two characters and this going on, but there's a bigger plot afoot, and you're alerted to that very early on. So it's not really a spoiler. There's something else going on.
All right, but I'll be interested to see what it is. But like I was thinking about it as you were saying that. Like, wouldn't it be really cool if there's nothing like, you know. And it would probably be fine if there is, but like, what if there is no like murders happening? Or there's no like secretly aliens in the school, or you know, like, because I've been reading the reboot of Archie.
Okay.
And one of the things that I find so refreshing is, you know, every week I read fucking Batman comics and X-Men and blah blah blah, and it's just like this comic that comes out once a month that's just about kids in high school. Yeah. And it's refreshing. It's nice. But I mean, if it isn't like that,
well, I mean, there's definitely a lot of that in it, but at the same time, it's. I mean, like the very opening scene is like a vision of something happening. Okay. And then, so you know there's some kind of bigger plot going on, but there's definitely those little like high school moments and stuff happening.
Cool. I mean, you sold me on it last week. I definitely am really excited to play it. Hopefully people will check it out. How can they check it out?
You can get it, I believe it's on all systems, PlayStation, Xbox One, PC. You can download it. You can also get it on Amazon or any retailer. There's a limited collector's edition or special edition out that comes with an art book and a soundtrack, which I can't stop listening to. If you haven't already, you will want to check this game out. It's so good, and I want to talk to you about it. And I want to be like, and this part, and oh my god, can you, like, it's just.
I'll play it soon so it's still fresh in you, and we can be like, oh, what did you do at this moment?
Yeah, like, it's one of those games, like, I almost wish I would have played as it came out, because it's like, oh, what happened here? But there's also one of those games that, like, as I was playing it, I'm like, it would have driven me up the wall to wait, like, 2 months to play episode 2 or episode 3 or whatever. But there's something else I wanted to say about this game, too, but I don't remember what. Maybe.
Nothing comes to.
Yeah.
And you saw a movie.
I did. So you lent me Straight Outta Compton, or I lent you Straight Outta Compton, you lent me Ex-Machina.
Yes.
Now I watched it last night. I'm still not totally sure what I think of it. Okay. I think it's fine. I wasn't super into it. Okay. So I'll get into a little bit of spoiler territory, so just if you don't want to hear anything about the movie, be warned. Air Square. While I get into this. Yeah. So, very early on, I think it lays it on a little too thick that there's like something else is afoot. Like, oh, you got to be wary of. Like Oscar Isaac's character is kind of a prick. It's very sort of Steve Jobs or whatever kind of guy. Like, oh, I'm a genius and I can do whatever I want and say whatever I want. Yeah. I'm gonna be an asshole, whatever. But it's laid on, I think, just a little too thick, and there's that reveal scene. I won't get too spoiled, but there's that like scene where Donald Gleason like discovers like the big reveal, and I'm like, it didn't feel like that big of a reveal because I don't know if I was on taking the point of Oscar Isaac, but I'm like, he's doing experiments on this. Like, that's how you have to do science. Like, you can't get attached to these certain things. Like, it just didn't feel like. It wasn't like he had like real people. I don't. Then you get into the debate of, well, what's real and artificial intelligence and all that stuff. But so I was like really kind of back and forth on it, and then I really do like the ending. Yeah. I love the bleakness of that ending for kind of the human characters and stuff, and that shot of the alarm and him pounding on the thing and her just. Yeah. That's it. Right. But I don't know, like, it's trying to take a stance, but at the same time, I can't really get mad at him for that, because he's doing science. I mean, that's part of what comes along with it.
I mean, I think that it's kind of, I don't think it's really meant to, I think that it conveys that Gleason is not okay with it. Yeah. But I think it is supposed to also make you kind of, like, feel that way, where, like, that's not surprising, and maybe that's okay because it's science. Like, I think it's supposed to show both. And I think that, I mean, obviously I think the ending is great. I didn't see it playing out that way at all. And I think it shows kind of the human nature side of like that she's developed.
Yeah.
But I love the movie. It was the kind of movie where I finished it and I was like, yeah, that was good. But I kept thinking about it and thinking about it. It kind of laid like its talons in me, and like think more and more about it, and you start reading stuff about it, and listen to a few interviews with Alex Garland, and it's just like I couldn't escape it.
Okay.
The performances I think are great across the board.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's just something about it. It's just like so interesting to me. It was a great episode of it was Twilight's in the movie done right, in a way.
Okay.
And it's also, have you watched Black Mirror yet?
No, I still haven't watched it.
It's definitely like, this would have been a great episode of Black Mirror.
Okay.
That's what Black Mirror is like. It's the horror and the terror of what technology could become. It would absolutely be one. Apparently, there is an episode. The one episode of Black Mirror I have not seen yet.
Okay.
It's the Christmas special, which I think is I've heard is very much like Ex-Machina.
Okay.
So we'll see on that.
All right.
But overall, so you don't quite know how to feel.
Yeah, like I'm still processing a little bit.
And that's kind of how, like I said, that's how it was. It took,
Like,
it took a while of thinking about it.
Initial thoughts like, okay, it's fine. It is what it is. I didn't blow me away, but I wasn't like bored by it. I've got some issues with it, but I really like certain parts of it. So if that changes over time, we'll see.
Okay, cool. And that's what we've been
That's what we're up to. So what do you think of anything that we talked about? Compton, Life is Strange, Tomb Raider, New Tomb Raider, Old Tomb Raider, Ex-Machina. Let us know. You can tweet at us. You can tweet at me at Rich Belson.
I'm at Stonks.
You can tweet at the channel at OAbeer_official. You can email us, though, at overabeerofficial@gmail.com. And you can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/overabeer. If you like our content and our videos, please share them with your friends and subscribe to our channel. I think that's going to wrap things up for today. So until next time, we'll see you guys later.